right, Matrixx and Rhodes Show supporters. Well, I wouldn't have known this was happening if it wasn't for the fact that I saw Megyn Kelly comment on her Twitter X account about it coming down the pipeline, and my first thought is, great, another childhood classic, another show that was near and dear to our family's hearts growing up, a show that was really, really uh, friendly to a standpoint of the family could all sit down. You didn't have to worry about what was going on in it. Michael Landon, of course, was so good and fantastic in this show. And it was a wholesome show. You don't hear that word a lot anymore. You just don't. Well, as with anything, nothing is safe these days. And Netflix, I guess, has made its mission now to ruin one of the greatest shows ever created. I think they destroyed the set at the end of the show to make sure that nobody ever circled back around and tried to reboot this thing. Well, I guess they're going to try to do it anyway. And with Netflix doing it, it could be a nightmare. I would guess it's going to be a nightmare. And I'm talking about Little House on the Prairie. Wow. This is, you want to talk about a series, a show that I wish they would absolutely stay the hell away from. I cringe at the thought of what they're going to end up doing to this thing. So the 19th century Ingalls family is getting a 21st century TV life. God help us all. Seriously. I seem to remember Christianity had a big part of that show, and we all know Michael Landon's belief set. This is going to be awful. Netflix has ordered a Little House on the Prairie series 40 plus years after the long-running adaptation of Laura Ingalls Wilder's beloved books aired its last episode on NBC. You want to feel old? 40 plus years after it ended. I know it makes me feel ancient at this point. The new version comes from showrunner Rebecca Sonnenschein. This should make you cringe with horror. The Boys and the Vampire Diaries. Now, look, when The Boys started, I really liked the show. I did. And then it turned into Homelander is Donald Trump, and his followers are Trump supporters. That is what the show evolved into. And, of course, Homelander's considered the villain on that show. It's woke as hell now. It's super woke. It's also very graphic and very sexual, which also has me very nervous because that's exactly the kind of thing we did not have to worry about when it came to Little House on the Prairie. I believe this could be a nightmare. Little House on the Prairie has captured the hearts and imaginations of so many fans around the world. We're excited to share its enduring themes of hope, optimism with a fresh take on this iconic story. Wow. Rebecca's vision threads the needle with emotional depth that will delight both new and existing fans of the beloved classic, I bet. Said Sonnenschein. I felt deeply in love with these books when I was 5 years old. They inspired me to become a writer and filmmaker, and I am honored and thrilled to be adapting these stories for a new global audience with Netflix. Yeah, it's going to be a disaster. It is. The new take on Little House will be, per Netflix, quote, part hopeful family drama, part epic survival tale, and part origin story of the American West that will serve as a, quote, kaleidoscope view of the struggles and triumphs of those who shaped the frontier. Oh, man. They're going to take something in the Old West and make it as woke as humanly possible and ruin it. Wow. So the original show ran from 74 through 83 and spawned several follow-up television movies. I forgot about that. A Little House reboot has been in the works for several years. Anonymous content and what Then Paramount TV Studios began to work on the project in 2020. It has been a long-held dream of mine to carry on my father's legacy and adapt the Wilder's classic American stories for 21st century audience in a way that brings us together, brings together fans of both the books and the original series. So now that we understand that's going to be awful, I mean, I just cannot imagine. I'll tell you, at this point, the only thing I watch on Netflix is the WWE just moved. Literally, it started 3 weeks ago. Just moved Raw back to Netflix, and I watched that Tyson fight. I've got Netflix because of the NFL being on there now, and well, covering sports. But unless it's a movie that I've already seen and their original stuff, I know some people have said Squid Games is good. I haven't watched it. I haven't seen it. So, a lot of reactions to this. Is Netflix going to push abortions on the remake of Little House on the Prairie? Melissa Gilbert did. She also, by the way, is a hardcore Trump hater. Melissa Gilbert, in Trump's first term, was a Trump hater on social media. I don't trust Netflix as anything Democrats and communists touch, they destroy. I say leave Little House alone. It was Michael Landon's baby. And this is what Megyn Kelly said at Netflix. If you wokeify Little House on the Prairie, make it my singular mission to absolutely ruin your project. Oh, don't worry. There'll be a lot of people that mission. Yeah, I think a lot of folks are thinking it's probably going to go in that direction. My favorite one of these that's going around right now is, yeah, here it is right here. The Brokeback Mountain. There you got them. And then the Netflix version, of course, has Diddy and LeBron James starring in it. Yeah. They will screw this up. Which black guy is playing Michael Landon? I think that's where we think this is headed. Seriously. It's not just about not being woke. Little House on the Prairie was openly spiritual, absolutely, with some incredible faith-inspiring episodes and stories. Without the Christian faith-based ethos, yeah, it's just going to be, it's a wreck. That absolutely was a big part of that show and the makeup of that show. And we know there's an obvious war on Christianity now. We've talked about that before, especially on the political channel. So I suspect this is going to be a disaster. All right. Now, has Netflix put out some good things? Yeah. That Daredevil show, I believe, is the best series of comic book television ever created. Seriously, that first season of Daredevil is, well, I think it's the second best season of comic book television, but it's really good. First being Arrow season 2. But it's not like they can't produce good stuff, but will they? And when you got a showrunner like this involved, again, the boys started out strong. Now it's dog shit. It's terrible. It's unwatchable. It really is. So, and I just have a feeling they're going to push religion aside in this. And tell me what you think, Matrixx and Rhodes show supporters. This feels like a nightmare in the making. Another IP taken and crushed and ruined, like every other IP out there. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.